I think it's two things are fair to say. Two things are true. One, there is no film franchise that stays as secretive, or at least tries to, as the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Guarding spoilers. All the actors joke about when they're on the late night talk shows and, one of the hosts asks them a question. They're like, I don't know. Kevin Feige's got his snipers around here somewhere. So that's true. That's true. The second truth, though, I don't know that I've ever seen a film franchise where their own people have loose lips as much, whether it's Tom Holland or, Benedict Cumberbatch himself has slipped a couple things. Mark Ruffalo has slipped. It just happens, right? It happens. So anyway, Iman Vellani, good Canadian girl, who of course plays Kamala Khan, Ms. Marvel. God, by the way, I still think Ms. Marvel is like the second best show that Marvel's in. I love that. It's just charming and delightful, and it's so John Hughes transported to today. I loved it, and I really love her. I thought she was the best part about the Marvels. I really enjoy her character, particularly her family. But Iman Vellani is doing Animal. What's the Andy Serkis movie called? Animal Farm.
Yeah.
She's doing Animal Farm with Andy Serkis, Gollum himself. And
he directed it, and she's one of the voices.
Yep. Now, of course, Andy Serkis also has another film he's directing coming out that they gave us a little teaser for at CinemaCon, Lord of the Rings, The Hunt for Gollum, which I'm actually starting to get excited about. That being said, right now, Andy Serkis and Iman Vellani are doing press for Animal Farm. And something probably slipped. And this is all over the place now. This is like all over the place. But here's a little excerpt from the thing. This comes to us from the folks over at Geek Time. Because Iman Vellani says, I'm excited for The Hunt for Gollum, Vellani said during the conversation. Serkis responded with something that instantly raised eyebrows. And I'm excited to see you in Doomsday.
At which point she started sweating.
That's when things got awkward, and Vellani immediately acted with, no, you can't say that.
Well,
and
can't
just
unsay it either.
Yeah, and just like that, the internet had its next Marvel mystery. Or if anything else, Marvel mystery eliminated. No mystery here. Now, I am going to tell you, because this is all over the place now. It's like, oh, did he accidentally say something? Did he say something that's not really true or whatever? Well, since Andy Serkis said it, and we know he knows, I'll let you know something about this. As somebody who knows pretty much everything that happens in Doomsday, I did not know this. I didn't know that. So I asked somebody who I also know is in the know, and I said, listen, you saw this thing Andy Serkis is saying? They're like, yeah. I'm like, look, the stuff I know, I didn't know about that. To your knowledge, is that true? And they said, yeah. So Andy Serkis let it slip that Iman Vellani is going to appear in it. And listen, this shouldn't surprise anybody because we know Kevin Feige really loves this character. He's talked ad nauseum about how much he loves the comics of it, how he just adores Iman Vellani. She's a wonderful character. Marvel itself, outside of Feige, has focused a lot of things around Ms. Marvel lately. And anyway, so it really shouldn't surprise us that she might make an appearance, although I thought maybe they would hold off her appearance until Secret Wars. But I guess, what was it, Marvel Zombies? That she was so featured in. One could argue she's the main character of Marvel Zombies to an extent. So not really surprising, but man, that Andy Serkis let it slip. But you know what? I could see how. Somebody just says something like, I can't wait to see your thing. You instantly think, oh, I got to say the same thing. Or they just gave Andy Serkis a call and said, hey, could you let this slip? This is going to be a way to it is very, I wouldn't put it by Marvel that this is their way of letting the world know. But so whether or not this was Andy Serkis legitimately accidentally doing an oopsie, or whether or not this was prearranged, regardless, it's now out there. Anyway, Rob, what do you think about the interview and how this came out? And what do you think about Ms. Marvel being in Doomsday?
Well, I don't think that it was prearranged. I think that a lot of people, especially if you're not, we as film fans that watch film YouTube, we're aware of these things, but Andy Serkis is not thinking in terms of, look, he worked on Lord of the Rings, but they don't have to keep those movies secret, because everyone knows what's going on. So he doesn't like. I'm sure he wasn't thinking. He knows that she was in the movie and just mentioned it. Now, I could tell you that indeed, from what I understand, she is in the movie, but not in a very large role. You know,
so it is a small.
It's
part.
a small.
Yeah.
I would say more cameo-esque, and maybe she doesn't appear by herself. That's all I'm gonna say. But you know, I mean that's again, what I know of the film is from last year, and things are very iterative in the MCU, and this film is very sprawling, and I think that there's ways talk about a movie that's going to deal with length issues. So that's why there's things in it that when they tell us they're going to make a bridge to Doomsday from Endgame, there's things that they could use that were part of Doomsday that they could toward, you know, and that would make it legit. And then they could come up with they could have, as they're putting together Doomsday, they could have said, you know, we need to add some kind of a bridge sequence, because Marvel has always done this. They cut the movies together. They're very iterative. They're like, you know what, we can, and they build it into the budget. They're going to have reshoots, pickups, whatever they want to call them, and they're going to do it to make the films better. They've always done that. In the case of movies like Captain America, Brave New World, the movie wasn't working. You know, I don't think with Doomsday that's the case. I think with Doomsday they already had something that was very strong going into it, and then as they caressed it, because it's so monstrously huge, that they figured out ways that, okay, we could do things this and do things there, but I think that she was always in it. I think she was always a part of it, but it's not a.
This brings, and you and I talked about this a little bit before the show started. This brings back memories of, you guys remember a year and a half ago when those alleged concept art pieces came out? And we all remember one of those big concept art pieces that have been debunked, but maybe there was some truth to them, was Iman Vellani, Kate Bishop, Ant-Man's daughter, Cassie, and there was a fourth. I can't remember who it was, but there was the one image where I don't know, maybe that's the quick scene. Maybe that's what's in there.
You never know.
You never know. We'll have to find out. We want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Pocket Hose. Guys, I'm excited to tell you about the world's #1 expanding garden hose and their brand new product, the Pocket Hose Ballistic. As you guys can imagine, I'm not exactly gentle with my gear. I drag hoses across concrete over the pool, yank them around corners. I even coil and uncoil them all the time to put them in my camper van when I go out on my movie meetups. And generally speaking, a lot of them don't last. But the Pocket Hose Ballistic has been a totally different story for me. It's incredibly durable, super lightweight, and just makes the whole job easier. One of my favorite things is how simple it is to use. You turn the water on, it expands. Turn it off, it shrinks right back down to pocket size. And it's reinforced with a liquid crystal polymer, the same kind of material used in bulletproof vests. Plus, it comes with the pocket pivot, which gives you 360-degree rotation at the spigot, so it moves with you instead of fighting against you. And now, for a limited time, when you purchase a new Pocket Hose Ballistic, you'll get a free 360-degree rotating pocket pivot and a free thumb drive nozzle. Just text Campea to 64,000. That's CAMPEA to 64,000 for your 2 free gifts with purchase. Text Campea to 64,000. Message and data rates may apply. Anyway, guys.
Maybe we do.
Or maybe we do. Question is for you. What do you think about this? Andy Serkis, who has been in the MCU, let an oopsie slip, or was it an oopsie? Was it by design? Who knows? Whatever you guys think about all this, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show Podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.